Welcome back to our Dev Diaries series of videos in which we'll be opening up the hood to development on Train Sim World 3, which is coming to you on September the 6th, 2022. Today, we're going to be talking to you about weather, how we've created the dynamic weather system within Train Sim World 3, the volumetric skies, the improvements to lighting, and all those things that are going to really enhance your Train Sim World 3 experience. Should we get those anoraks out?
Driving trains, weather affects everything. 1 minute you can be driving in bright sunshine, the next you're in the middle of a downpour. It's always changing, it's ever changing. Like the seasons, you have to really take into account your braking and your accelerating. You realise how different the rails are in such adverse weather. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, but it's so fun.
So something we really wanted to achieve with Train Sim World 3 is to really build upon the sense of immersion and make it as close to life as we possibly can. And so one thing we worked on a lot was the weather systems. So much of TSW in the past has been centred on the locos. It's nice to have some more elements to bring the environment and the world around it, give it a lot more life and a lot more movement.
One of the things that we really wanted to do was a major renovation on what is actually half of the screen, and that's the skies and the clouds. We wanted to try and bring them to life with 3D clouds so that you get a real sense of movement and really represent what you see when you look out the window in real life. Using technology in Unreal, plus stuff that we've developed ourselves, I think we've been able to really bring that to life. Another huge area that we wanted to tackle is the entire lighting for the game. We stripped out everything and we rebuilt it from the ground up, all based on real-world figures and measurements. All of the lighting, the contrast between day-night shadows, how it looks as you go into tunnels and what it looks during dusk and dawn are all so much more realistic. But it's not all clear skies in Train Sim World 3.
Wet conditions are interesting. You need to be very aware of the changing railhead conditions.
1 minute it's dry, the next it's downpour. You know you're going to be stopping. You're going to need an extra half a mile to a mile to stop your train, especially going downhill.
You can be taking power, the locomotive can be slipping and struggling to get the load away. But if you're driving the locomotive correctly, it can be challenging, but it's an enjoyable challenge.
So with the improvements that we've made to making the game rain a lot, there was a number of other things that we needed to add to really complete that effect. One of the things that we've looked to improve is connecting the rain with the ground. So in Train Sim World 3, it'll splash when it hits the ground. And it's a simple thing, but what it does is it's connecting all of these different things together to make it look like one cohesive scene. Another area is sparking and arcing caused by the electric connectivity into the trains. What you find is that in bad weather, you get more sparks. The other thing we really wanted to do was take a look at the characters, and in particular, umbrellas. Characters walking around without umbrellas on just breaks the immersion. So we spent some time adding in animated umbrellas into the characters, which is really cool to see. Obviously, a key thing that happens when it's raining, or can happen when it's raining, is lightning.
Lightning is quite exciting to have in game because it's always something to look out for and spot in the environment. It's something else that kind of draws the player to really look at the landscape and the scenery.
When you're driving along and you've got these big storms going off around you, the thunder rumbling in the background, claps of lightning as they're going along, it just feels incredible.
I'll be very impressed with any players that do manage to get a shot of a lightning bolt with their train in shot as well. Definitely deserve bragging rights if you're able to do that.
Lightning is a really good example of where it's taken time and effort from almost every team in the game to bring it to life, whether it's the audio for the rumblings, the VFX for the light flash, the lighting team for the overall environment flashing.
We wanted to have weather become more dynamic, more varied. It gives a sense of unpredictability, which is exactly what you get in real life.
You'll be driving down the line and perhaps it's a nice sunny day, and then by the time you've made it into Webb's Fleet, thunderstorms, lightning are going off. Maybe your grip has changed on the track now, maybe you've gone from rain to snow.
Snow and ice is not a great combination for the third rail trains, and it is always a challenge.
We need to be aware of frost and ice building up within the brake rigging.
Because it's slippery, you don't have enough grip on the tracks and you're maybe just sliding along the tracks and don't brake.
So in Train Sim World 3, we've added a hiccup effect, which brings the snowstorm blizzard along the side of the train to great effect. Another aspect we've spent some time improving for Train Sim World 3 is headwinds and crosswinds. And one of the areas that you find this more visible in the sim is on the Castle Würzburg route, where you're traveling over these big tall viaducts and diving into tunnels. And depending on the train that you're driving and the weather conditions and wind conditions that you're in, your speed limits change. So this changes your driving experience in ways that you can't predict. So you're going to have to be looking out the window and reacting to changing conditions in real time.
And it allows players to actually experience the same scenarios in different ways and be able to discuss it amongst themselves about what challenges they face.
Seeing extreme weather such as driving rain, ice, wind, it's very exhilarating at times, but it's also incredibly scary at times.
Well, I was driving in a storm a couple of weeks ago along a very dark single line route, and it's almost a little bit scary. There's lightning going off everywhere, it's pitch black, you're all on your own sat in a metal box, kind of hoping for the best.
In Train Sim World 3, we've really taken the level of immersion up to the next level. We're actually putting in sounds to cover new lightning thunder sounds to accommodate the lightning effects that are going to be in Train Sim World 3. We're adjusting some of the wind sounds that are happening. My team have put in a lot of effort to make sure that we've got new sounds for as much as we can, making sure that we deliver good quality audio and that we're delivering accurate audio. It's going to be a fantastic release.
I think one of the biggest challenges with developing Train Sim World 3 has been keeping everything cohesive. It's one thing to add a bunch of different things to the game, changes to the game, but they've all got to make sense and it's all got to link together. There's not just a list of individual things that have changed. Every one has knocked on every other part of the game.
I think it will definitely help give each player an individual experience to make you feel like that you're there and that you're experiencing the weather, not just from seeing it, but actually experiencing it when you're actually driving the train, seeing how it affects the gameplay, how it affects how you're driving your train or what kind of obstacles you might face, because now it's not as scripted as before. We've really stepped it up a notch. Very excited to be showing it.
Thanks for watching our Dev Diaries videos. We hope you've enjoyed them all and they've given you an insight into how we've been making Train Sim World 3. Pre-order is available now on all platforms for standard and deluxe editions. And don't forget, Train Sim World 3 releases on September the 6th. We hope to see you there.